If I may um, describe cyber volunteering is what happens when everyday people use their digital skills or simply their time and awareness to help other people stay online. I've come to notice from the conversations that I've had with people or the talks that I've had, the questions that I get from people, people often walk towards cybersecurity volunteering with a head full of assumptions that don't quite really match their reality. We usually say that the first line of defense is the user. You might be having the best systems, but if the user is not aware of these systems, then you're doing nothing. I'd say that like cybersecurity is slowly becoming a civic skill, something that communities rely on, like first aid or public health. So the more people understand that cybersecurity isn't about fear or secrecy, but shared responsibility, the stronger the collective safety net becomes, yeah?
Hello and welcome to the Cyber Weekly. Today we are joined by Zarc Okere. Off screen, we had just been talking about how to pronounce his name. It sounds like mine, Okello, but Okere. Yes. So hopefully I've done a good job because it sounds like mine. So I shouldn't be making so many errors. But today we'll be diving deep into mostly cybersecurity, but technically mostly cyber volunteering. People usually assume there are no opportunities in cyber volunteering, and they always assume that, where does things come in now? Where do I get my breakthrough? So we've brought Zarc to talk about this. So Zarc, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dio. I'm really humbled and honored to be here. And I want to say congratulations for the good work. I remember you starting episode 1 for the Cyber Weekly, and now you're in episode 87. That's really commendable. Congratulations, and thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. I was also telling you that the people who have actually helped guide me. I've listened to your conversations, and I was like, wow, especially in the ISC2 program. You're well articulated, and you have done a very good job in terms of managing the different frameworks. I believe there was a framework you were teaching. Unfortunately, I forgot the exact name of the framework.
Yeah, it was something to do with the Center for Internet Security, CIS framework.
Yeah. So now diving into exactly what this conversation is about, tell us about yourself and why you're fit to actually talk about this topic of cyber volunteering.
Once again, thank you very much, Gio, for this opportunity. And back to your question about myself, as you've pronounced it well, Okere is my surname. They call me Zarc. I'm a proud Kenyan with 14 years of experience in the humanitarian IT and cybersecurity. So over the years, I've really dedicated myself to creating safe and effective digital solutions that I try to serve communities in need, at the same time helping organizations protect their data and also support people. So basically, my work sits at the intersection of technology and social impact. That's why the cyber volunteering comes in, which has allowed me to contribute while also trying to solve complex challenges here. Outside my professional life, I'd say that I'm a lover of sports, which keeps me energized. And at the same time, if you love sports, you know that it requires a lot of discipline and also building physically and mentally. So I tend to thrive in collaborative environments where planning, problem solving, sharing knowledge are part of my daily routine. So How did I find myself into cybersecurity? That's a good one. I had not planned to get into cybersecurity, if I may put it, but I think I just stumbled upon it. When I completed my high school, I was about to join university, and communication was what I was looking forward to, but things changed along the way. When those days we were doing computer packages, and it was the in thing. So I went to one of the local universities in Kenya to do the packages, and I got interested. And before knowing it, after I completed my the packages, that is Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint, those days, I found myself doing a diploma in computer engineering, and that's how my IT journey started. And along the way, I found myself into cybersecurity because there were these courses offered by the university by Cisco, and I really enjoyed the practical lessons of these courses, which pulled me closer into cybersecurity. I really enjoyed that. So over time, I deepened my technical grounding, trying to explore what really is this cybersecurity. And at the same time, I became interested in the human side of security, behavior, awareness, digital responsibility, and how they just shape the safety just as much as I could hear words like firewalls, encryption, passwords, and everything. So I really wanted to get deeper into it, and that's how I got myself into this field of cybersecurity. And just by the fact that the field of cybersecurity is very dynamic, we have a lot of things changing by the minute. It keeps me on toes. Yeah. You only grow old if you stop learning. That's what people say. So, just trying to be ahead of uh, not others, but the bad guys, that keeps me going. It gives me extra motivation to do, to get or to delve deeper into cybersecurity. And as I'm going to share later, if time allows, there is that aspect of um, getting to know what other people are experiencing and trying to solve their problems, which has given me that extra motivation, because I get to hear different people having different cybersecurity problems, which gives me that opportunity to research and learn more about cybersecurity. So that is why I found myself in this field, and I think I'm here to stay. Thank you so much, Steve. Back to you. Yes, dear, I can't hear you.
Sorry. Can you get me now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. Now, when it comes to cybersecurity, now in this conversation we are digging into the idea of cyber volunteering. So, your journey into this, how did it begin? And if someone is actually hearing it for the first time, what is actually cyber volunteering? Does it mean that you are working for organizations for free, or what? What's the deal about it?
I'd say think of it as community service, but now this is in the digital world. Yeah. We have very many organizations out there doing CSR for other people, and it's a source of satisfaction for them. So, if I may um, describe cyber volunteering is what happens when everyday people use their digital skills or simply their time and awareness to help other people stay online. It might sound technical, but the idea is surprisingly very simple because we have very many nonprofits who have got a mission and a vision to keep. But you'll get that these nonprofits, they don't have the resources, that is the money and people to help them with this cybersecurity. So to assist them maintain their vision and their mission, we volunteer our time and our resources so that at least they can maintain their systems or their cybersecurity posture. Sometimes it looks like someone with the technical skills helping a small nonprofit set up safer passwords, try to say recover from a phishing scare, or a person like you, what you're doing, I can say it's cyber volunteering because you're moderating an online community to share what they have. Yeah. So sometimes it's just that digital literacy work, teaching others how to spot scams, protect their devices, or at most even handle online abuse. So it's voluntary and it makes people safe because most of these nonprofits, as I said earlier, they don't have the expertise because their vision does not maybe include a cybersecurity expert, so they don't have a budget for that. So that's where we come in. We volunteer our time, we volunteer our skills and our expertise to help these nonprofits stay safe and maintain their vision and mission, be secure. So that is what we say is cyber volunteering. Yeah. And it can also range, yeah. It's not necessarily nonprofits. We have IT students, to teachers. We have digital rights advocates to patients, who can guide someone through, say, a request that they've made. So in many ways, it's natural response to world where harm can spread quickly, but now you have someone there who's volunteering their time, expertise, and skills to help with them, to help this nonprofit or this school or this organization stay cyber secure.
Yeah, I would like to add on to that. Now, for a young person, one might assume that the fact that it's volunteering, how does it now pay up in the future? If it is not through money, what are we looking at as a long time or a short time benefit of actually volunteering?
Yeah. So we know the times are hard. Yeah. Times are tough and people will want to do something so that they can be refunded. But now, when you help someone, you build your reputation. You also tend to build your CV in some way, and you also gain experience from what you're doing. Yeah. So if you have something that you can give back to the community or the society that raised you, then it's a plus. So you can imagine you have all these skills and you don't have anywhere to take them. You'll just stay with them and then they'll not be useful. So I'm looking at it from this perspective that you have these skills and you're helping the community in some way. I'll give it an example of those people who are playing football. How do they give back to the community? Maybe they go back to where they stay, and what they do, they train the little kids on how to play football, discipline, community service, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So you build that reputation, and maybe most probably something will open up by referrals. Yeah. In some rooms, there'll be a conversation and your name will come up and you'll be like, oh, there's this guy called Dio who helped us do A, B, and C. You can reach out to him. And that's how people make connections. That's how people get those job opportunities that you don't want to volunteer to be seen. Yeah. So it's very important for you, for those people who are young and they are trying to break into this world of cybersecurity or any other industry or field, just to volunteer their time and expertise, and who knows who's watching. Yeah. There's someone else will be seated somewhere watching what you're doing, and they'll be like, yeah, I think I'll get this person because whatever they've done is really, really good for us, and we need this expertise here now that we have a deficiency, or we need someone for this position. Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at a young person. They'll be like, okay, now, could you give us an example of actually how that has happened, how manifested, basing on your experience, how someone from, volunteering has actually landed a job?
Okay. Yes. So I'm not going to name names, but I recall where I'm volunteering currently, and we had this guy who was volunteering his skills, and at the same time they were doing shadowing someone. Yeah. So you don't have a skill in dark web monitoring, for example. So when someone else who's got that skill is doing that particular work, you just join them, and then they teach you the ropes, and you gain that knowledge, and next time you can do it alone. So during the volunteering process, this guy did a very good job for this particular nonprofit. And when this nonprofit got funds for a cybersecurity expert, they just said, we want person X to come and join us. Because whatever he did for us when he was volunteering, he did it well, and he did it with his whole heart. So they didn't interview him because he had already been interviewed by these people when he was volunteering his time and expertise, you see. So there's someone always watching what you're doing, and you do a good turn, and someone else will appreciate you, and sooner or later. So you just do your best, and you do give your best before you move. You move on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially for young people who
Mhm.
usually assume that no one is watching. But yes, people are always
Yeah.
watching. And now, what would be like those startup skills which in normal volunteering programs that people usually set up, or you just based on what the organization is currently having?
Okay, definitely. Like for cybersecurity, you need to have technical skills. But you see, cybersecurity also had that aspect of social skill, because you're talking to people who don't understand the language that you're trying to put. So you need to explain. Excuse me. You need to explain things to them in simple human language. So apart from just the technical aspect, the human sides of your brain also need to be activated in some way. I'll give an analogy of being dropped into a digital village, and then you start helping with one task, and suddenly you're learning 10 things that you didn't expect, because you're socializing with people, and people are coming to you, giving you their problems, you see. So you need to put them into levels. There are those people who learn very fast and they understand things very fast. So yeah, the technical aspect of it is something that you need to have. Also, there's communication. As you get to interact with these people, your communication needs to become sharper. Not the corporate kind, but now we are talking about the human kind. Yeah. So you should be able to learn how to explain technical ideas in a way that doesn't make people's eyes be like, wow. You see, you give those technical jargons and you lose all the people in the room. You'll also learn patience, because there are those people who you'll need to explain several times before they understand something, especially dealing with people. And you also need to know how to read the room, especially when someone is reporting something like an incident, or feeling scared or embarrassed when you are trying to explain to them, Um, Then there's that aspect of empathy. You should have it in yourself because if you're dealing with these people and they're explaining to you, my picture's leaked in the internet and it's going round, someone is sharing them, blah, blah, blah. So you need to develop that strong sense of digital empathy. Yeah. So when you're assisting these survivors online or dealing with scams, then you should also build that curiosity in any topic. So there's no stupid question. That is what people say. So even if someone asks you what is a fish and it's something that you've been explaining over and over again, just explain it to them once again. Don't be like, now you're disturbing us. So altogether, it builds a blend of technical know-how, people skills, and just having that grounded understanding of how risks actually play in real life. So it will bring out or nudge you towards leadership because sooner or later the person turn to be the leader because people are looking up to you to try and explain to them things, and who knows? Yeah. So you need to build that empathy. Communication is very important, and also just be patient. Those are some of the things that you need to build. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Now, what are the best organizations or platforms where people can start actually volunteering from?
Okay. That's a good question. So there are several organizations and platforms where, if you're interested in cyber volunteering, you can contribute meaningfully. But it also depends a lot on your skills, the skills that you have. We've spoken of technical and also non-technical. Also, it depends with how much time you want to commit and whether you care about the social impact. Yeah. Education, threat intelligence, or supporting corporates or nonprofits. Yeah. So when I say social impact, it depends. So if it's an organization that is supporting children and you are very passionate about children, definitely it's going to be a yes. If it's an organization that is supporting old people and you're not passionate about working with old people, then it becomes different. So those are some of the social impacts that you're talking about when you're choosing an organization to work for. But some of the top organizations that I'll share about is this. I don't know if you can read this. The CyberPeace Builders, yeah? Which is run by the CyberPeace Institute, where they have this March volunteering cybersecurity matchmaking. Yeah, so we have an expert who deals with security awareness, and then they are matched with an organization that is working on in children or banking sector, and you can visit their website. It's a CyberPeace Institute, and look at what they're doing. You can register, and someone definitely will be able to reach out to you. We also have other organizations like the Cybersecurity Reach Foundation, where their volunteer program allows people to contribute to threat intelligence, whatever that is happening. And also their open source intelligence is very nice. It's very, very strong. Which one? Open Source in Cyber is also another organization that people can reach out to. And the last time that I was making a presentation to the ISC Squared, they also have a volunteering program. Yeah, people can volunteer their expertise and the skills through the ISC Squared program. Cyber Info, I think, is another one. We also have CISA, which is a Cyber Volunteering Source Center, but for the US market. And there are very many others that are out there that I've not mentioned because I don't have them from the top of my head. But it depends with the skills that you have, time commitment, impact focus, if it's for social, it's for youth, it's for gender, if it's for global, and also the geographical aspect of it. So if it's an organization that, excuse me, is based in the US and you're based in Africa, maybe the time difference, the time difference can be a challenge. So just choose an organization that is close by and you'll be able to give your best or your all. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for those options. I've definitely picked the CyberPeace Institute. Seems that's the one you're always around the bus. Because I'm even seeing a shared CyberPeace builders. So I'm guessing I'm putting two in two. Yeah. But what are those challenges and misconceptions do people have about cyber volunteering?
Okay, I've come to notice from the conversations that I've had with people or the talks that I've had, the questions that I get from people often walk towards cybersecurity volunteering with a head full of assumptions that don't quite really match their reality. Yeah. So the cybersecurity field sits at odd crossroads where Hollywood work, hacker, or genuine community work all collude. So that's where the misunderstanding thrive. And a few patterns show up again and again. Why? Because many people assume you need to be a top-tier technical wizard before you can help. No. Yeah. It's just a myth. Almost like imagining that you need a neurosurgeon, for example, to volunteer in a clinic. In practice, many people in cybersecurity volunteering is about awareness. Simple. You don't need to be those people who have got hooded jackets at night in the dark doing coding. Just awareness, self-practice, coaching.
I was actually about to put on my hooded jacket today, but I said, let me not put it on. Yeah.
Administrative help, and also there's also plenty of projects that rely on patient communication, not those deep dive coders that you have. Also, there's that belief that cyber volunteering is dangerous. As if volunteers face criminals. We also have that risk of you're trying to help an organization, and the organization or the nonprofit is like, you guys, you're trying to spy on us. How can you offer your expertise for free? Yeah. What is the product here? Yeah. Am I the product? Yeah. So people don't understand the cyber volunteering, and I try to give the context of the CSR, community service responsibility. The CSR, I try to give that context so that they understand that when a bank comes to your place to clean the environment or to clean the field or to create to come up with a field, it's not that they want anything back. It's what they are giving back to the society. Yeah. Then there's another challenge is expectation mismatch. Yeah. So you get that there are some volunteers imagine a big incident response mission, and instead they discover that the work can be slow, people focused, and full of routine tasks. Yeah. So you get someone who thinks that they're going to do like a dark web monitoring kind of a setup, and then they find that it's an awareness training for people who are not, or for kids, it becomes a mismatch. So also the idea of cybersecurity experts thinking that it's purely technical, it's not a social kind of engineering kind of thing. Yeah. So there are those things that when you try to volunteer and people are thinking of cybersecurity, they think of those Hollywood movies that I see people coding. But it starts with awareness. We usually say that the first line of defense is the user. You might be having the best systems, but if the user is not aware of these systems, then you're doing nothing. So there are simple just like social engineering that people can use to gain access to the system. And when you try to tell people about social engineering, no, for them, they want to dive deep into the technicalities of cybersecurity, hacking, and all those dark web monitoring, those fancy words, which at some point it's a challenge when you try to explain to people that it's not all about hacking, or it's not about coding with a hooded jacket. Yeah. And most of these people, they're not patient. They want instant results. Yeah. We want to transfer money, or we are at crossroads. We want this application to be used. And you'll get to know that most of the tools that are used in cybersecurity, they are very expensive. They are very, very expensive. Yeah. Very few people can afford it. So even me as a cybersecurity volunteer, I need to get, or to be funded in some way by these big organizations to help me do some of these tasks. Yeah. So I'll just volunteer my time and expertise in regards to that. But there are some tools that I need to use that are expensive, that need to be availed somehow for me to do my work. Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually right about many of those. And many of them really hit on the aspect of the youth. None of them, because the expectations and then thinking everything is
The
purely
reality.
technical. Yeah, it's like a big challenge, and the fact that people want things quickly nowadays, it's a big challenge, especially with the young ones. I'm speaking it as if I'm very old, but anyway. Is there anything actually we have missed in this conversation as we are wrapping up that you actually would want us to talk about that we didn't actually talk about?
You know, I'd say that like cybersecurity is slowly becoming a civic skill, something that communities rely on, like first aid or public health. So the more people understand that cybersecurity isn't about fear or secrecy, but shared responsibility, the stronger the collective safety net becomes. Yeah, because we'll have this, say, like a threat intelligence platform where we share all these ideas, and exploring that idea casts the whole topic in a much more hopeful lens. So if all these threads of discussion are put together, you give people a sense of emotional truth and everyday impact, and the long-term importance of what cyber volunteers can actually do. So it shouldn't always be a conversation about cyber volunteering has one quiet corner worth eliminating, but the sustainability of volunteers themselves. You know, that is where people rarely talk about, especially the emotional load. Yeah. It's something that I'm very sure you had not factored into your questions, because just like when we have these people who go to the battle zone, like the Marines, yeah, after all has been said and done, and they come back home, they need to go for treatment to clear that the pictures that they had when they were in the battlefield. So it's same when you're dealing with someone who's trying to absorb anxiety, you are also in that space. Yeah. So we have people who, volunteers who jump into enthusiasm and only later realize, wow, we need boundaries. Yeah. Because I was dealing with someone who's maybe their pictures are being let out in the open, and the way they are dealing with it is something that I should also put myself into that space so that I understand how they feel. Yeah. So mentorship or support system of their own for the cyber volunteers, I think it's really important. It's really important. Something that has been overlooked for a while. Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to write how mentorship is important.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, people don't take it seriously, but I can't say that this show would exist without mentorship. It's definitely the
Exactly.
mentors who keep you up, especially when things are not going the way you want them to go. So, for anyone who wants to be in such a position, what advice would you give, especially where you are currently in your line of work?
Um, Stepping into a role where you guide others in cybersecurity, whether it's a volunteer, a trainer, or a community protector, for example, um, is basically less about chasing titles and more about cultivating habits that make you steady, useful, and also trustworthy. Yeah? So I'd say that like a good place to start with is curiosity. Let it stay alive, the curiosity that you have, because cybersecurity isn't a mountain that you climb once. It's more like a landscape that keeps reshaping itself. Yeah. So always follow the odd question, follow the unexpected patterns, the small, why does it work like that kind of moments. All this builds the instincts that you later rely on in your cybersecurity journey. Also, there's that aspect of humility because you meet people who are frightened, frustrated, or even ashamed of what has happened online because something went wrong. Your job as a expert is not to impress them with your knowledge the way you know a lot, but it's to make them feel manageable again. So try to speak there to them, listen closely, and leave space for people to admit that they don't know. Yeah, no one knows everything. Um, Practical experience, it matters a lot, more than perfection. So keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. You do it once, you do it twice, you do it thrice, then you master it so that you can teach. As Also build a habit of learning ethically. Don't use shortcuts or routes that are not recommended, because it's a tempting rabbit hole. Cybersecurity is very tempting because you know how to hack something and you want to try it out, and then before you know it, you're in it and you'll want to do it illegally. So try to be ethical. So if someone wants to reach a similar position, it comes down to staying curious, stay kind, keep learning, that's a definite, and also show up consistently. Don't be that person who shows up today and then tomorrow you don't deliver what you have promised. So with those qualities, I think they are more of the heavy lifting than what people expect.
Thank you for that. If someone wants to find you, definitely you shared a lot of very good information. But if someone wants to find you, where can they get you? Yes, let's start from there.
Yeah. Yeah. So usually very active on LinkedIn. Zarc Okere, that's my LinkedIn. Maybe you can share it when you're sharing the podcast. Zarc Okere on LinkedIn. That's where I'm very active. I'm not very active on other social media because it's more or less like a rabbit hole, which I try to avoid very much to concentrate on other things. But I try to network with people of the same profession. That's why you'll find me on LinkedIn. Also, you can go to the CyberPeace Builders website, and there we can interact. You can request for a service, or you can even request for more information on what you do. So cyberpeaceinstitute.org, that's the website that you can go to, and you'll find us there, and we'll be able to assist you. Yeah.
Thank you, Zach. We've definitely
Welcome.
picked a lot when it comes to cyber volunteering. You have definitely answered all the misconceptions and pitfalls which people usually face when they are trying to join this profession. So thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you to Dio, and continue doing the good work. Just reach out anytime that you need our assistance, and we'll be able to help. Thank you very much. I'm
You're
really
welcome.
humbled and honored.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Good
Bye.
luck.